Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Zeta, and someone requested me to debunk this video about how far Super Saiyan 4 Goku would get in Super. It's not close at all, so yeah, let's get into the video.
Let's start up with his power in Z, having a Super Saiyan 3 form comparable to Kid Buu, who had the power to destroy the Kaioshin realm, which is 10% the size of the entire macrocosm. The reason this is so impressive is because of how vast the macrocosm actually is. You see, the Order universe contains 4 quadrants, each containing multiple realms, infinite stars and galaxies, and even their own spacetimes, with the afterlife transcending all dimensions, even existing beyond space and time. However, in Fusion Reborn, Goku, when powering up into Super Saiyan 3, is able to shake the afterlife in its entirety. This would make Fusion Reborn Goku relatively 10 times more powerful than Kid Buu.
Okay, this conclusion absolutely makes no sense because if you're using Fusion Reborn feats, Janemba legit beat Goku's ass, and then in the Kid Buu arc, he would then go on to say that Kid Buu is the strongest being he's ever faced, which would make him above Janemba. So no, Kid Buu is still above Super Saiyan 3 Goku, bro. Speaking of Janemba, he literally was going to destroy the entire afterlife and the universe, so no, Dragon Ball Z doesn't cap at shaking feats. They can do way more than that.
GT Goku, even being weakened and turned into a kid, can fight Rildo, whose power is even greater than Buu's, and can beat him with less than half of his power. Through the math, we can get that base Goku is comparable, if not a little stronger, than his Fusion Reborn counterpart as a Super Saiyan 3.
No, this is absolutely wrong because Battle of Gods and the Resurrection F movie take place in GT's timeline, and you can argue that in Battle of Gods, Goku, who just 5 years after the events of the Buu saga got stronger than Fusion itself because of Super Saiyan God. So no, yeah, he didn't just get a little bit stronger. Also, in an interview of Daizenshuu 7, Toriyama admitted that Goku was his #1 fighter out of all of his characters, which would include the likes of even Buu Saga Vegito. So yeah, if you want to believe that surpassing Buu Saga Vegito makes you a little bit stronger, I mean, go ahead, buddy. That's just blatantly not true. And since we're accounting the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies for the scale, this would mean that base Goku would surpass the likes of Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Golden Frieza, and probably Beerus and Whis, referring to their movie versions, of course.
Baby throws a revenge death pot, which causes Kibita Kai to drop Goku mid-instant transmission into a dimension in between dimensions, the sugaroku space. This feat, while impressive, isn't much to help GT's scaling, as the sugaroku space is a subspace in between dimensions and time and space, and even said that people from the outside could not enter, unless of course someone wants to play a game. Confusion gone? Okay, good.
Okay, so this is just you misinterpreting what the Sugaroku space actually is. The Sugaroku space is not a subspace or not the subspace. The subspace contains the Sugaroku space. The Sugaroku space exists inside of the subspace because in that same scan, it gives further context and says that the subspace contains places like the hyperbolic time chamber and the Sugaroku space. So there is a clear distinction between both realms and where they're placed in the cosmology.
We get that Super Saiyan 4 reaching a multiplier of 1.6 million times base form.
I don't really care about how strong he thinks the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier is, but I can go day and night about proving how Super Saiyan 4 is the ultimate transformation in GT, which since Battle of Gods and Resurrection F are now retroactively added to GT, that would at bare minimum make Super Saiyan 4 stronger than Blue.
You have Super Saiyan Goku doing better than a stronger Maju. This would in fact mean Goku got well over 64 times more powerful than he was in a baby arc. And yes, while Mew considered Super 17 as the greatest machine mutant, this wouldn't actually mean he would scale above Golden Azara Baby.
Look, man, I don't know if you ever picked up a GT guidebook in your life, but in Perfect Falls 1, it states that Super 17 is the ultimate warrior, which would put him above Golden Uzaru Baby and Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Goku. Now, before anyone says, oh, it could just be referring to end of GT Saga 17 or some specific time period within that arc, no, because if you actually read the text and look at the context, it says that Super 17 and Hellfighter 17 caused Super 17 to be the ultimate warrior, meaning when Super 17 was born, he was the ultimate warrior.
Don't worry, because eventually Super 17 grew so much in strength and absorbed so much in power, he could survive and absorb Super Saiyan 4 full power Goku's Kamehameha times 10. And then Goku caught Super 17 off guard and killed him with a Dragon Fist and Kamehameha combo in base. Yeah, no, this doesn't mean base Goku's above Super 17, it's just as bad as ROF Blue Goku getting caught off guard, so really shouldn't be scaling this way.
Okay, so this is absolutely wrong because we literally see 17 talking and absorbing energy, and in the back, Goku is literally present, so 17 can see Goku, and he's absorbing that energy from 18. And when Goku comes to charge a Dragon Fist, he literally says, this is for Krillin, and Android 17 responds with, what? So they're literally talking to each other mid-scene while Android 17 is using ki absorption, which is something someone who is off guard would not do. Then after he hits him with the Dragon Fist, legit, what happens after is 17 starts saying, dude, if you try that shit, I will literally absorb it. So he was going to absorb it. He was on guard and was going to absorb the attack to make him stronger. So saying that he's off guard in this entire sequence when he can comprehend everything that's going on around him is just straight delusional, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man?
The Shadow Dragon saga begins, and Goku and Pan begin to defeat the 7 Shadow Dragons, until they come across Nova Shenron, who Goku thought was the strongest dragon so far, but it turned out base Goku knew of Nova's full power.
Context, bro. Are we actually serious, man? When Goku says that Nova Shenron is on a different level from everyone they faced up until now, it's referring to his base form. Because when Nova revealed his true form, Goku started questioning on if it was his true form or not. So when Goku is telling Nova to lock in, he's thinking that he's not taking it seriously in his base form or whatever he's seeing within that moment. He doesn't know that Nova had a new form.
And his base Nova form, which scaled to base Goku. However, Nova Shenron's full power would be the strongest power yet, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku would scale relative. This would still mean Goku surpassed his previous Kamehameha times 10 in the Super 17 saga, making him at least 25 times more powerful than back then.
I like how Okara ignores that Rage Shenron, who is weaker than Nova, legit beat Goku, who was using Super Saiyan 4 and times 10 Kamehameha, and knocked him into base form. And since Nova is above Rage Shenron, but is equal to base Goku, like, that's huge, bro. That's absolutely huge. You don't need to highball it or lowball him being above times 10 Kamehameha. He is literally surpassing his Super Saiyan 4 form in base because of Nova.
Reaching Battle of Gods, Goku has trained with King Kai over the course of 4 years since the Buu arc. King Kai warns Goku about Beerus' power, saying that Goku could not defeat him. However, Goku still thought he could fight Beerus as a regular old Super Saiyan, implying Super Saiyan Goku by this point would surpass or at least reach the level of Kid Buu.
Brother, how does this logically follow? Just because Goku still wanted to fight Beerus after King Kai said no one can defeat him does not mean that he's above Kid Buu. Okay? There can still be multiple fighters above Goku at the same time. Like, bro, what does that even mean? That just means that Goku is overconfident, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, Okara, man, please understand what a non sequitur is. Like, this does not logically follow. Like, nothing even in the scans that you said imply that Super Saiyan Goku at this point is above Kid Buu.
With Goku even believing Vegito couldn't stand a chance against Beerus. Considering the comparison in power between Super Vegito and Super Saiyan 4, we can argue they've
Battle of Gods is canon to GT. You stupid Australian, take this dick!
With the battle between these two, they were capable of nearly destroying the entire macrocosm in just a couple of punches. This cardinal universe has to be so big, it has to be capable of containing an entirely higher dimension to even the other world.
Why? Can you justify that claim? Okara, please, learn how to justify your claims, bro. And even if we do take your interpretation for the macrocosm or Universe 7 as valid, I can just apply it to GT, or just the macrocosm in general. Scale's the exact same. There's nothing in Super that separates the scaling for the macrocosm.
Which is what we call the super dimension of lights, which we actually saw in the Broly movie.
The super dimension of lights doesn't even exist in the universe or macrocosm. It's stated to be outside of the universe's boundaries. So if it's stated to be outside the universe's boundaries, like, it's not in the universe. And in Dragon Ball Super, it's made very clear that the context of universe is referring to Universe 7 via, the Battle of Gods feat, other kind of shit, and also determinate power, how the Zenos were erasing not just the universe, but like multiple macrocosmic structures, which is why it's, macrocosms and not inherently like a single living world.
Getting even stronger for over 3 years of training into the Universe 6 arc, where he fights against the time-skipping assassin Hit, with Kaioken times 10 on top of Blue.
You mean the same arc where it's confirmed that they're only gonna get a little bit stronger?
Goku Black fuses with Zamasu to become Fuse Zamasu, and then merges with the entire timeline, with the timeline infinitely greater than all of existence. The timeline being infinitely greater than the neutral zone, which contains multiple macrocosms and multiple dimensions that exist beyond the macrocosm.
Yeah, and Arale, who is confirmed to be weaker than NFZ Goku, can transcend the entire macrocosm, but on a conceptual level greater. So logically speaking, this wouldn't mean anything.
Is there power levels in Super with higher dimensional scaling? Is it the Tournament of Power, the Broly arc? Well, of course, it's the Goku Black arc, where slicing, affecting, or just straight up merging your very existence of the dimensionality tier of the timeline. You shouldn't be surprised that this has some kind of crazy scaling. Oh. Regardless of being overlooked, the timeline contains everything, from the macrocosms, the huge and seemingly infinite realm of the Void and Zeno's realm, and theoretically the Dragon realm too.
it wouldn't be in any timeline at all because it's stated that you cannot go there. And in Dragon Ball, you can travel to other timelines, which would imply that there is a space that separates those timelines, which would mean that you would go to that space to travel to other timelines, and you are traveling to that space. And the Dragon Realm is beyond that space or outside of that space, so it literally would not be in that space or any timeline whatsoever.
Regardless, the timeline should be infinite, being time throughout the whole of existence, spanning into multiple. Hate to bore you with stuff like this. Basically, while the Dragon Realm is a dimension beyond the macrocosm,
this is very easy to disprove, since I just proved to you guys that the timeline cannot be traveled to even if you exist within a higher timeline space, then it's not within the macrocosms at all. And another thing I want to imply is that when Goku went to the Dragon Realm, he went through something that is known as a Taoism ascension, where you ride on the back of a dragon to leave to a higher plane of existence. And in Dragon Ball, they actually take concepts from Asian mythology, and this is confirmed in the Dragon Ball Z RPG guidebook, which is canon. And when we see Goku ride on Shenron's back, we notice that this scene is very similar to what is described as what I just told you guys. It's very similar to a Taoism ascension. And what's funny is that here's what the guidebooks say. The guidebooks say that Goku went to a place that's beyond the living world, or a place that's, beyond like a higher plane of existence, that kind of shit, right? And this supports my point. If it's inaccessible to the timeline space and is confirmed to be beyond the living world, then it's very obvious that there is some sort of higher spatial axis that is going on here with the Dragon Realm. And this space would be beyond anything spatio-temporal, abstract, that kind of shit, because this place is literally like the most abstract you can get. This is the closest thing that you have to like, Sun Wukong, Nirvana, that kind of shit. After all, Goku is literally described as Sun Wukong, and he's literally based off of Sun Wukong, and logically, this would be Goku's ending in Journey to the West. Look, I know I'm trying to sound rhetorical, but, my previous evidence proved otherwise. I'm just trying to drag the video at this point. But now it's like, oh, Saucy, so what? You basically scaled GT and Super to the exact same scaling. That just makes them equal, right? Well, I'm going to address that. To give you guys a good understanding on GT scaling, I'm going to give you guys a scaling chain of GT and compare it to Super to find out which one is stronger, because they're both branches of the Buu saga and have their own exclusive scaling. I'll be making that video very, very soon. Until next time, guys, see you.